Okay. Yeah, someone's typing. I'm happy to see it. He's not typing anymore. My heart is broken. Fine. So, to remind you all what was happening yesterday, we talked about a video.
Is what you make of it.
We talked about the video that reviewed the podcast that talked about the poll. The poll seems sleazy. The podcast represented its goal and its misrepresented its goal and its topic. And the video, as we have found out more than once, oh, you were discussing something when I left. Just chatting, okay. While we wait, I continue. No, you are not waiting anymore. The wait is over. So, it's just us. No one else. So, we talked about the economic state, that women are not out-earning men, it seems, and the gap being favorable now just means it's moving to be closer. Oh, my phone is here. You might hear me terribly. Should be better now. So, since you are so silent, let's just get going.
Man, how you look at it, they wouldn't even listen to me. People here in our community, they don't hold the views they do because they watch my content. They watch my content because my videos resonate with their lived experiences. Something they could always feel but couldn't put their finger on. Brother, like, life you got to offer to them brought them here. Blame yourself.
Sisters aren't doing it for themselves. Gender difference in singles' well-being. The experience of singles has been largely... Okay, let's see what he is highlighting. Our results suggest that single women on average report higher levels of satisfaction with relationship status, life satisfaction, sexual satisfaction, and lower desire for a partner. Exploratory analysis showed significant gender interactions with age and ethnicity. Overall, these findings suggest that women are on average happier in singlehood than men. Oh, what do you mean you don't hear it? You... I see. Can you... Probably not. You are breaking my heart. Do you hear me? Dun 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 dun. No. No. No, definitely not. No. No. Dun dun dun. Here? Please tell me you do hear me. Hey. Say something. Oh, right. Okay, you know. Hey, hey, hey. Please tell me if you hear me. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Do I hear myself? Okay. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Oh.
No.
One, 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 one. Two, 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 two. Three, 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 three. Four, 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 four. Four. Six, six, six. No. Seven, seven, seven. Okay. Fine. Last choice. Now, I don't know what was happening, but okay. Let's get to where we were, which is hard. So, our results suggest that single women on average report higher levels of satisfaction with relationship status, life satisfaction, sexual satisfaction, and lower desire for a partner. Exploratory analysis showed greater significant gender interactions with age and ethnicity. Overall, these findings suggest that women are on average happier in singlehood than men. Okay, now, thoughts on that? Turning on stream back. So, women are happier single than men are. Is it news to anyone? So, I mean, it used to be that women were expected to want relationships at all times, and men were like, no, I don't want to date. Now it seems the tide is shifting. The problem is, this is feminist spaces theory, of course. You may disagree, but men do not have emotional connections with their friends very often. Like, yeah, they spend time together, but do they know how they are feeling? Very often, no. I want your comments on it too. Like, do you agree with it? Do you disagree? The emotional connection for men is often fully relying on their partner. Meanwhile, in women, the friendship gets developed differently. Women tend to share their struggles, their happiness. They form emotional connections that makes them less lonely. Like, with the same number of friends when I wouldn't be able to tell my friends about how I was doing, I was incredibly lonely. Now I can talk about it. We still get kind of uncomfortable complaining because this is the culture we live in, the culture of, handling it. But it definitely helps relying on each other for support, including emotional. What exactly is fish? Please do tell. Again, you can raise your head and become the speaker here. Nice. No jokes are acceptable. This is a serious space. We do not joke here. I don't have a lot of friends, so I can't really say anything about this. I read Rami's comment, but I never thought about sharing my emotions with a bro. It's not something I personally feel like they would be interested in, nor do I want to share my deepest emotions with them, beyond maybe just expressing that either the day is going great or it sucks. Yeah, you are the perfect example. Fishon, take the stage.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so I think there's like different levels of sharing your feelings, right? So like some levels are acceptable, some not in terms of like masculinity and all that, right? But I think it has been shifting more toward people talking more in depth about their feelings nowadays, towards what it used to be.
Are you talking old people? Are you talking men, women? This is important.
Men in particular, right? Because like by default, typically men I think isolate when they have bad feelings, right? When they're feeling bad. But with the online era and everything, I think it's becoming more and more, in depth in terms of like conversations with each other. Now, do I think it's helping? I think it helps to different degrees, right? It's kind of, it has to be like form of like therapy in a sense, I think, where like aura, like if other people have the same experience that you do, maybe they have different ways of thinking about it, different perspectives, different opinions, and that can think about things differently. And yeah, the anonymous factor is a big one. Typically, I'd say a lot of men, especially in like the incel spaces and stuff, will be on alt accounts, including me right now. And that's like a way of expressing their feelings because I would never do this on like my main account or as myself. It's like this is the only way I can really talk about those feelings.
One second, I want to find a video, but before I do that, do you remember I was sharing video from a comedian who was talking like he was going through a divorce and he decided to talk to his friend about this, and his friend replied, "I didn't even know you were married." This friend was his, what's it called? Not best man, groomsman. What's it called? Please help me out. So things were not going great for him. Best man, groomsman. Yeah, groomsman then. Okay, if anyone else wants to share anything, I will pause and take a moment to find the video I want to talk about.
So I think the reason, Rami, is that when you're online, there's less commitment involved. Right? You don't really care about random people's opinions of you as much as people in your close circle, because they're typically not always going to always be in your life, and not as important usually. And then it's also easier to practice online, right?
I found it. So the video is called "Why Are Men So Vague?" Don't tell comedy. This is stand-up.
Okay, so who's this comedian?
Here.
I'm in a relationship now. I'm happy about that because I was single for 5 years. And ladies, you got to be careful first. But I'm in a relationship now, and it feels good. But I'm starting to realize, being that I'm in a relationship as I'm older, I lack patience. Because we're in the future. Your job, he was like, I didn't get shot, so it was good.
Here.
Good. Simple question. Just a question. He gonna give you a one-word patience. Yeah. And I realized something about men recently is that men are very vague. They give vague answers. Yeah, you ask a man a question, he gonna give you a one-word answer. Because women, we're totally opposite. We're very detailed. You ask us a question, we're gonna give you information you need now or in the future. I asked my boyfriend the other day a very simple question. I was like, how was work? He said, good. Come to find out, somebody got shot at the job. I had to hear this from somebody else. I was like, somebody got shot at your job? He was like, I didn't get shot, so it was good. I was like, you didn't want to talk about this? What? Because as a woman, I wouldn't even make it to my car. I'll be in the parking lot dodging bullets like, they shooting everybody, baby, but I'm what's on my way home. They like, this bitch. That's why I don't even trust a man if he's too detailed.
Wait.
Right before I decided that my boyfriend was who he was gonna be, that was gonna be my life partner, I was dating 2 people, and the other guy, he was actually in first place, because of one thing. You said, damn, yeah, but he was. Months in, you find out he got a wife and kids. You like, oh shit, I never knew. No. Yeah, people lay all their cards out on the table. I remember back in the day, people didn't lay their cards on the table. No. You had to be locked into a lease. 12 months locked in. 2 months in, you find out he got a wife and kids. You like, oh shit, I never knew. Guess we got another 10 months to figure this out.
Don't.
What's our takeaway from this?
I don't remember the second moment important. So, if you look at the comments, it was a running joke for a decade in my friend group that I didn't even have a job. I've known one of my closest friends for 24 years, and I still don't know what he does for work. Ain't really my business. My best friend has been in the military since we were 17. I've never even thought to ask him what he does for work, even though I know he'd tell me. To this day, I don't know where most of my friends work. I don't know the names of most of the guys I play ball with. I'm laughing so hard knowing I've been knowing my best friend for 30 years and still don't know so much about him. You're laughing. Men are lonely and not socializing with each other, and you are laughing.
No,
like,
I was laughing.
I mean, yeah, we are looking at this with this light-hearted perspective, but this is why they are less happy when single.
Less happy when single. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Right?
Why?
Like, yes, they communicate less and have like less social structures.
Okay, continue.
Occasional reason they're unhappy.
Humans are social beings. We need emotional connections. If without partner,
Holy robot. Your microphone went into like a robot state there. Go ahead. This is temporary. I think it's internet.
So if you do not talk to anyone about your emotions, you will feel so lonely. The burden of talking about emotions and feelings with a man lays on his partner. This reminds me of how my coworkers would react to me when they find out some basic fact about me. But again, I like to keep my work life separate from personal life. I think this is not a good attitude. I know it seems reasonable, and it kind of is, but you still not need to form human connections, even if it is strictly professional.
Well, I think professional's fine, right? I think men typically seek out like solutions rather than support emotionally, right? So they want to know the answers to solve a problem rather than handling the emotions around it. I think that's typically what happens, right?
Solving the problems rather than handling emotions. Yeah, do we see a problem with that? And where does it stem from?
Well, it's not, they kind of bottle it up sometimes, right? But it's also that talking about feelings doesn't really help, it feels like. Because at the end of the day, we have to solve something.
So take care of the problem and then the emotions are resolved. Not true.
Yeah, exactly. So like the emotions are resolved later, ideally, or like discussed later. If they like are bottled up for a very long time and then they pour over, that's when typically men will talk about their emotions, let's say. But if it's like normal day-to-day life or something, it's typically like, okay, I want to seek a solution for a problem.
Is this good for your mental health? Oh, let's look what Saul said. So essentially, a guy who has a lot of platonic friends he's able to vent to and emotionally connect with cannot feel lonely. Not what I said. So you hate waffles? Or can a lack of romantic relationship inevitably cause a certain loneliness? Of course, support system can make singledom a lot easier. Okay, I'm being strict here. Of course, it can make singledom a lot easier for a lot of people. Yeah. If you are lonely, who can you go to talk about it?
Random people.
Who? Is there
People in the suburb, for example, right?
is there a certain person, certain people? How many you can name?
I can name a few, but I'm not going to name it in this call.
Yeah, of course. I don't need names specifically. It's just that, like 1, 2, 5. Server. Let's see what Rami says. Server with some fellow cells. Do you talk about? First of all, I want to ask, when you talk about your problems there, do you feel like you express your emotions and you can do this in in their whole capacity, or is this like one person venting, another person venting it, and it's about them, the next person joins, it's also about them now? So can it be about you when you are venting?
I think in the energy that becomes a circle jerk in those spaces, right?
Like, even if it was circle jerk, the thing with specifically incel spaces is that they are not supportive. They will drag you down.
I mean, they're supportive, it's not in the way that support usually looks like.
Yeah, because it's not support. Like, the thing is, they say, yeah, it sucks, and it's not only bad, it's worse than you think.
It's worse than you think.
You know?
I think it's like there's certain patterns that they feel very emotional towards, and then they typically circle jerk on those emotional points, right? So they address the emotion, but it's in an unhealthy manner, typically.
Yeah, so there's this thing called ruminating. Wait a second.
It's more like a vicious cycle. Right?
Yeah. In psychology, ruminating is the habit of obsessively, repetitively, and passively dwelling on negative feelings, past mistakes, or worries without taking action to resolve them. It is a mental loop that often worsens anxiety, depression, and stress. While it feels like problem solving, it usually leads to a downward spiral of low mood and reduced productivity. Tom, do you not agree that this is what happens in incel spaces?
The rumination over it?
Yes.
I think, well, rumination, it makes sense if it was a single person, right? The problem is that this is a multi-person, like, sharing the same emotional experiences in a healthy manner.
Why would you say that it being a single person is important?
Yeah, so typically I think of ruminate, I think of like a single person ruminating over their thoughts, not like some people over the internet ruminating over a thought, because I don't see it in that context as much.
I don't know about that. There were alone for the ride when the Southern Ghost Saga happened. I do not know what it is. They didn't drag me down or anything, but being in the same place I am, well, they really couldn't tell me anything beyond, yeah, that sucks. Another fellow broso that was also going through a breakup with his long distance relationships at the time, so we kind of trauma bonded. The difference was that I knew that I had to get over the ghosting. Oh, is this the incel fetish woman? Oh, no, it is not. I see. He never did get over it, and it's been over 3 years now. I think you can see the result and judge by the result. This is not a productive space. Like, the thing that I gets hung up on this post that I shared, this place cult-like mentality. While I disagree that this is like actually incel black pill mentality, but it does show this religious pattern, like what I'm often talking about these days, invisible pink unicorn. Taking a goddess that is taking the form of a unicorn that is paradoxically both invisible and pink. The IPU is a rhetorical illustration by agnostics, atheists, and other religious skeptics as a contemporary version of Russell's teapot, sometimes mentioned in conjunctions with Flying Spaghetti Monster. The IPU is used to argue that supernatural beliefs are arbitrary by, for example, replacing the word God in any theistic statement with invisible pink unicorn. The mutually exclusive attributes of pinkness and invisibility, coupled with inability to disprove IPU's existence, satirize properties that some of theists attribute to a theistic deity. Okay, so we will go back to the post I was talking about. One second. I am typing so much, so many comments. So, here. Now, this post is for those of you, like if you who managed to ascend and escape incel-dom. Life feels a little lighter, a little easier even, but this is just an illusion. Nothing has changed. You can be replaced at any time. Don't forget where you came from. There is a reason it took you so long to get into a relationship in the first place. And if you aren't prepared, it will be worse. Know that unless you bring significant looks, wealth, fame, or all three, you are in danger of going back to being an incel. And lastly, and most importantly, don't be a free agent in your life. So, the thing here is that you need to always remember that that you just cannot be happy. The thesis. So if I ever do ascend, I will always be aware of the black pill. I will call myself a post-cell rather than an ex-incel. You see, the thing here is that the whole world is built on the idea that men cannot be loved in a happy, fulfilling relationships. They should be always happy and aware, right? Is this so? This is something you can base your view on. This is a choice you make when you perceive your life. Is this the truth around which you want to build your worldview? Because this is what the whole worldview is getting built around. If you get into a relationship, there are dead bathrooms, dead bedrooms. If you are short or something like, I don't know, balding or whatever, better boxing, you are being settled for. Small cock, of course.
Yes.
I think, recently it's just haven't been that much of a discussion. Fish, continue.
Yeah, so from my understanding, a lot of this is deeply rooted in insecurity, right? So you hear about the thought loops and stuff, but at the end of the day, they usually come back once you actually get into a relationship because insecurities haunt you. I'm not entirely sure how to address that part of it, I guess.
It's not about trouble. For me, when people are insecure, the trouble is when they are dragging others into insecurity with them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And this is wait a second. I got banned from Short Guys for 2 weeks
No.
for a comment. It's already over. The ban is already over.
You're too tall.
Yeah. I said yeah without thinking. No, I'm thankfully short guy sized. So the comment I got banned for, right, because you want everyone to believe that short men can't have good things and people trying to uplift you are all liars. Yep, that's my point. You want misery upon yourself and others. If it was just you, okay. But you're locked in on bringing everyone else down with you because they share the same feature. And it's better to remain miserable but educated than happy and ignorant. So this is the thing is, you are not educated. You just chose this fucking bonkers belief as the foundation of your worldview.
Pushback on that. I think, yes, there's a foundation of okay, we chose that terminology to identify with in a sense. But at the end of the day, it's typically due to their experience throughout life. It's not just I'm over it one day, it's okay, I chose this identity.
I just want to talk about this. Here in the post under which my comment was that I got banned for, so there are many women saying, yeah, I love my boyfriend, he's amazing, he is the love of my life, the best man ever. The comments: we are giving copium, so it would get to the point where we aren't going to be allowed about how hateful society is towards us because of toxic positivity. So you can find love. Right, I forgot you're all Americans. You can actually find love. Love exists in this world. No, you will not. And if you say love is there for us, you are actually taking away our freedom of speech to talk about problems. Like, two things can exist at once. You can be both discriminated against, you can be under scrutiny, and you can still be loved. It can be hard and still possible. This is how the world works. It's not black and white. Wait a second. Oh, this is a comment that got removed by the moderator because I reported it. My soldiers deny, my soldiers terrorize, my soldiers cop. Yeah. Irvin. Yeah, it's him. They are probably...
Fish in the sea. For all the short fish. Good question. So, the sea is looking a little bit empty right now. Might need to repopulate them. But
I'll be honest, it does sound funny.
the mission, not a job.
So, here, cherry-picking statistical anomalies and presents it as hope. I see that you know your blue pill well. Good one. Pretty sure, this is a crazy one. Pretty sure, just because they don't actively dehumanize them, doesn't mean there's physical attraction. More platonic than sexual. Think about this. A person is in relationship with another person. By default, you assume they are attracted to each other. For them, the standard, the base thought, the core of their worldview is that these people that share the same feature cannot attract another person. And this is why they will jump through hoops just to say, no, this doesn't exist. Like, what's that? A cum razor. You are making up too much. This is a conspiracy theory.
Well, are they saying that they won't get any attention, or are they saying that there's not enough attention?
Can you repeat? I don't think I understood.
Yeah, so are they saying they don't get any attention, or are they saying they don't get enough attention?
I'm not talking about attention. I'm talking about their attitude in general to a possibility. Here, I am talking about forcing unhappiness onto other people. Like, children are reading these subreddits. And some of these children are short guys, short boys, that will not grow up to be tall. And they will go into the world already assuming that they will not be able to find a partner. If they are to be an exception, they need to be exceptional. If they are here, they will not be. crazy hope you said it doesn't match my experience. I am not sure. Shut the hell. No, I don't know what this means, sorry. I don't believe in any of this, or alternatively, those relationships are open or some weird shit at play. Last person who told me she liked short dudes hard herself online and was entertaining her current short boyfriend. This is misery porn. I think the insecurity comes first and then these beliefs come later, rather than the insecurity being taught. These are both. Like, first, the person starts feeling insecure, then they come to these spaces because they feel insecurity, they share this insecurity, and then they get indoctrinated into being miserable. This is my problem with black pill. It assumes misery at the core of a person's existence. That's why I say you don't have to believe that. It's not because I want you to be delusional. It's because these are like you can be happy and you can't be happy are both subjective statements, no ultimate truth, right? So you have to choose the ones you are choosing between things that are up to you to decide. Why not choose the one that will make you happy?
You choose one that makes you happy, but very deeply rooted.
Here. No, wait, you will be able to see my Instagram here. Now, great quality, but you get what I'm saying. This is being incel and believing in the black pill truth.
Yeah, I think it's like related to my main criticism of the space, where a lot of it is blaming the outcomes rather than the deeper layers. Right?
Yeah. Like, we should continue. We strayed so far. But, yeah, so point is men do not have emotional support. And this, for us human social beings, this is very important for our happiness, for our life satisfaction, and again, desire for a partner in men also comes with desire to be able to express their emotions. Another thing we talked about, like we did not talk about, I didn't know why I said that, is that what? I forgot. Anyway, men want a partner because they want to share feelings, right? So when women talk about men sharing feelings too much, some of them are, of course, patriarchy believers, like, what are you, a princess? Are you a woman? Be a man. Sure, but there is also another one. cause. That is, if you do not have other ways to, channel your emotions, to process them, other people to share them, you will move all the weight of your emotions onto your partner. Without enough emotional intelligence, it will be overwhelming. I had a guy tell me, maybe you can fix me. No, I cannot. I am, by the way, also extremely depressed. What the fuck are you talking about? Who's gonna fix me? Right? Okay, what I'm saying so far, you're asking. So, let's continue. We are 6 minutes in.
Because I get the same accusation myself. Or he is recruiting. What the fuck does that even mean, bro? You would think I am paying people to subscribe. Bro, I am not doing shit. I literally don't do shit except speak the truth. The truth that all sub-7 men, sub-7 and low status men live and breathe every day, every single day. The world you created is bringing them here. When these people get those advices, those disconnected advice from boomers, from normies, that is bringing them here. And I do hope that they keep following those advices. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I do hope that, because it will only result in them finding out how fucking right I am. I don't have to do anything, because you are gonna do it for me. You are gonna fucking do it for me. Reality, real life is my biggest accomplice.
Again, the black pill will prove itself true if you believe in it, because it is circular logic. Because even if a person with traits that the black pill deems undesirable finds a partner, there is a fantasy where they are still miserable, and if they are not miserable, they are delusional. You cannot be happy while having this worldview. He also talks about sub-7 now. We are getting from sub-5, at least sub-6, 7th men could be happy. Now even they are not allowed happiness. And let's be honest, people do not adequately rate themselves and their appeal. Funny number. So, if these people, I will never stop saying, do not call people subhuman unless they are people who are predators focused on children. This you can call subhuman. This and war crimes. Torture. I allow you to call them subhuman. Do not call fucking incels subhuman. They are just some guys. This is what there is. Nothing else. When I was in a psych ward, I had a therapy session with one therapist who checked me for how bad I see myself, and she told me that seeing yourself as worse than the rest of people is also narcissistic. And I agree, I am just a person. I cannot be worse than people who commit war crimes and crimes against children. Like, these people go out there and they are happy and ashamed. Why would I be ashamed of myself? And you shouldn't be. You are just some people. This is normal existence. Like, Fishon, we talked quite a lot, and he is a good person. That's what I believe. I have told it many times. The dude still thinks he has problems. Well, not that he has problems, we all have problems. That he is somehow worse than an average person. I disagree. I think you are better than average person. At least as I know, like, average people. I might have lower expectations, I don't know. I didn't hear it.
I think depends on what metrics you're going off of. There are some things that have it better than others, and there's some things that have it worse than others.
Yes, of course, everyone is like this. Like, I'm surprised that they have therapists and psychologists in Russia. The USSR invaded political psychology. No, it's psychiatry. It's punitive psychiatry, as a means of patholizing political and ideological dissent, and a lot of people were sent to psych wards for disagreeing with the party. By the way, my dad thought that the reason I was sent to psych ward is because I was disagreeing with the current party. And he's still like, yeah, war is great. War is fine. Weird logic, in my opinion. So yeah, being overly negative is unhealthy. Just because pessimism seems more, intellectualism, more refined. No. Doesn't mean it is. Cynicism is not a smarter ideology. Okay. Shall we continue? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I want to show you something else.
But I think a good example of what we're talking about is like, say you text someone and they don't text you back. How do you feel about that, right? Ways where it can be positive or negative. And either one is like equally as likely in a lot of cases. One could be that they're just busy and they're doing their own thing. Not everyone don't like you, right? Negative. I think this is like very similar to like what happens in relationships as well, or like when navigating this type of stuff.
I think if there are many different subjective ways to look at our life, we should choose the ones that will make us happy.
At what point does happiness remove the realisticness of the outcome? I guess, like, your perception.
I do not have all the answers. A lot of it is hinging on yourself. It's just that I think you should find the ways in which you will be happy. But I do have this tendency of telling people in sales that, like, why do you believe in something that causes you misery? And this is wrong on my part, because, you know, it is not approaching it from their standpoint. I am telling them to be delusional, and I do have to change it.
It's more of like, it feels disconnected with their experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can think of things certain ways, but then they have life experience to back it up.
I mean, the problem isn't that they don't have experience to back it up. The problem is how they interpret their experiences.
In some cases.
I'd say in most cases. I will need to ask on debate incels about what the hell approaching is.
What is it sort of thing to do?
What? You were getting robotized for a moment. Oh?
Yeah. So I guess a good question is, like, is approaching even a good thing to do nowadays?
No. It's not quite what I'm talking about. Like, you view approaching as something that is approaching like code calls IRL. I also do this too, but apparently for some it's just talking to a person. That
Well, yeah, for me, feeling connection in the conversation is very hard.
this is demi-human. I appreciate you updating your worldview. Demi-human is almost like a part of you is some fantasy creature. Yes, approaching these days as an ugly demi-human is asking for a visit from the police and showing up on TikTok. This is unreasonably negative. You will not have a police code on you. The likeliness of showing up on TikTok is also not high. I bet a huge number of those is scripted. People lie on the internet. Wow. No one has ever said that before. Breaking news. News? I've never lied on the internet. We will not be talking about 2x. It's like like if I was bringing up psych, talking about how men feel in general, unreasonable. Like, you are adjusted to incel spaces. Still, I assume that all those different inflammatory statements are not what you believe. There is performative negativity and in incel spaces, and you know it. Why would you not consider that kind of extreme women's spaces have it too? Why would you then talk everything they say at face value when you don't take everything incels say at face value? I take it you aren't a fan of 2x? Yeah, I've seen like 2 posts and then I muted the sub because I do not like it. I don't think it's a good space. Also, like, by judging by the name, it seems transphobic. So not representative of current progressive movements too. Because in like incel spaces, 2x pink pill subs and PDS ended up becoming mainstream and default subs, no. 2x, it seems so. Pink pill subs and PDS, no. Like if we look at Reddit, let's actually look at the sub count. So 4, I wonder if it's still they're doing its shitty job. Based body camp. So based podcamp has 19,000 weekly visitors and 3,000 members. Two X is very popular, and you are right about it. Inkyverse. Did I make this up? It's a different one, not. Wait, I need to look through my comment. I cannot find the sub. Femcel Hub? Is this a real subreddit? Dread Scare Pod got taken over.
Got banned recently.
It got banned? Where is...
And there's one guy that got banned. Remember from that one sub? He was in that subreddit as well.
Inkyverse, 26k weekly visitors, almost 10k weekly contributors. Okay. let's look at female dating strategy. This sub is dead. It could be a different one, but the last post was 10 months ago. What other similar subs? Yeah, it got banned or
Did you see
banned.
FemSub?
No. Wait a second.
No, it shouldn't be banned. It should be there.
FemCell Hub. $8,000 weekly visitors. So it's 4 times smaller, more than 4 times smaller than Inkiverse. So it's a bit of a stretch calling it more mainstream than incel spaces. Wait a second. So here, so you can have the name of the sub. Yeah, FemCell Gripe Jail is a wild one. We will keep this one in mind. Now, let's look at Forever Alone Women. $16,000 users, 16,000 monthly visitors, so also a small one. Short Guys. Short Guys is an incel space. 81. Sorry. Like, putting 2x aside, Short Guys are the winner right now. And this is not the same as just short. This was created specifically to be an incel site. When Psych was banned, Kalashnikov came there to, there was this pity party for Psych when it was closed. I mean, I am not sure what was this gaslit in. I'm sorry, this post. So your sure friend can grab you when there are a lot of people. As if I'd been with the short in the public. 2 meters, more likely to be a man. God complex. Of course, a woman says, why is this hot? Why don't we see the upvotes? Like, this got 33 upvotes. This got... how many? Come on. We don't know. This is misery porn. They are imagining the worst. And all the other sub will defend them like there's no tomorrow. Here, kinda surprised that the hot comment is getting more attention than the blatantly dehumanizing one. Imagine if you just straight up said, yeah, I don't hang out with toads, people would think you're mentally ill. Yeah, that's right. Why is not the dehumanizing comment getting attention? Because it was probably said by the guy. I'm average height, but short guys have all my sympathy because in today's age I am too considered short. What am I getting at? We have moved so far from the topic again that
Life is good. Is what
we the page with the video got reloaded. Let's go back to the topic.
accept, speak the truth. The truth that everything
I think here, this is where we stop.
because you are gonna do it for me. You are gonna fucking do it for me. Reality, real life is my biggest accomplice.
I won't have to. They'll come to me. I'm more important now.
More gems from the study. Women aged between 18 and 25 are much more inclined to support slavery reparations and to think the UK is racist. They are also more likely to believe that things are stacked against me no matter how hard I try. They are dramatically to the left of over 25s when it comes to economics, and are significantly more likely to hold a negative view of capitalism than a positive one. Indeed, just 16% of women this age hold a favorable view of capitalism, the same percentage that has a positive view of fascism.
Interesting. Let's see what he says about it. While I'm pulling up the stats.
They see capitalism the way they see fascism, and think
This is made up.
the UK is racist. Guys, think about that for a second. Think about what it entails. And this ain't exclusive to British girls. We see this exact same pattern in the other Western European countries. Guys, understand, this is the result of decades of indoctrination and brainwashing on an institutional level. This is the result you get. And keep in mind that it might be only 35% that outright admits that they dislike men, but I bet you anything. If the question was, do you think white men indirectly contribute to the problem, contribute to the patriarchy and racism, the vast majority of women who claim that they feel neutral towards men would say yes.
Yeah, we all contribute to the system we exist in. So, you can be critical and not hateful. This is a valid option. I'm waiting for him to talk about fascism.
Would say yes, bro. As the majority of British white women already think that UK is racist. So in mentality, in idea, the self-proclaimed neutrals share the same sentiments.
He made that up. So he decided that... Why is it not loading? He decided that women who think country is racist are the ones who said they have a neutral view of men, and that's why they think men are racist, and that's why they actually hate them. Do you see the problem with it? Sorry, it wasn't loading for some reason. Do you see how many hoops did he have to go through to come to this conclusion? And this has to have one stern conclusion, right? It has to be that women who are neutral are the ones who said country is racist. Okay, about the opposite gender. Let's do the same thing I did before. Positive 50%, negative 44, quite a lot. And I'm doing something wrong, right? Yes, that's right. Only 22 are negative and 30% are neutral. Now let's talk about reparations. %68 of men think the UK should pay slavery reparations, and 44% of women. But this is not what he talks about. He says that women think that, right? Then, when we talk about country being racist, yeah, only 30% of men think the UK is racist, while the same is true for 33% of women. And he decides that, so how many? 29% of women have to be in this 33%, and they all have to think that it means specifically men are racist. Does it make sense what I'm saying? I think I'm losing the plot.
Yeah, you're saying each gender thinks the UK is racist.
Okay. So back to this, right? Again, let's look at his logic. There is something fundamental. No.
The picture ain't it, if outright what you get. And break, understand, same pattern, and is these battles.
Women aged between 18 and 25 are much more likely to support slavery reparations and to think that the UK is racist. While about the UK as being racist, true. About slavery reparations, more men support slavery reparations. They didn't have a figure for what. I am not sure I understand your question. They are dramatically to the left and are more likely to hold a negative view of capitalism than a positive one. Remember this, they are dramatically to the left, they don't like capitalism. Let's look at the poll.
Okay, that's saying for people between 18 and 25, is it?
Yeah, they don't have a separate figure, she just says that. She decides to point this out. 82% of men have a positive view of capitalism, only 29% of women. 20% of men have a negative view of capitalism. Meanwhile, the same is true for 27% of women. 29% of men view it neutrally, and 35% of women view capitalism neutrally. Socialism, we will go back to it. Fascism. This is something she does not even scratch. 33% of men have a positive view of fascism. And she just doesn't think it should be talked about. And 23% of women, significantly less, still alarming. What the fuck? Why would she not talk about the rising popularity of fascism? I think this is way more worrying than what is being said about capitalism. Would you say it's not worth discussing? It's not worth to be focused on? I think it is a much more worrying issue, and the fact that she does not talk about it, to me, indicates two possible things. She does not fucking care. She has her own agenda. Her agenda is angry, radical young women. The rise of fascism, yes, and the popularity, the numbers too. Like, she's like, a fourth of men and a third of women and a third of men like fascism. Nothing to talk about, nothing to worry about. We have 18% of women who don't like men. That's bad. You see what I'm talking about? I do not think I can believe in in 28% of the population viewing fascism favorably. Do you think it makes sense? I find it interesting how the figures sometimes are so pretty. Just 1% of a difference, right? Like, this is why I just do not believe this poll. And also the fact that he thinks supporting capitalism is good and not supporting it is bad. Okay.
The same percentage they see fact. Think about exact same thing.
Yeah.
The UK is racist. Yes, think about that for a second. It's that has a positive view of age, hold a favorable view of capitalism. The same percentage that has a positive view of fascism. They see capitalism the way they see fascism and think the UK is racist. Yes, think.
They see capitalism the way they see fascism. Does this mean, sorry, wrong tab. Around a quarter of people want extreme things in society. If you have any stats to back it up, I would love to read, because this is quite shocking to me, but also very complicated.
I think for authoritarianism, if you look that up, I think it's around 31% average, according to Pew Research.
Interesting. Okay, middle income countries. Whoa. Okay. Then Nordic countries being the reasonable people here, I guess. Sadly, India makes sense. Modi has huge support thanks to his anti-Islamic stances. I am not educated to lead or moderate a conversation about it. Okay.
Think about that for a second. Think about what it entails. And the same.
So, women are more likely, young women are more likely to think the country is racist and they don't like capitalism. Think about what it entails. Let's think about it.
Exclusive to British shows. We see this exact same pattern in the other Western European countries.
Okay, we are still to understand, to think what it entails.
Yes. understand, this is the result of decades of indoctrination
Okay, but what does it mean?
and brainwashing on an institutional level.
But
This
what
is the
does it mean?
result you get. And
What
keep
is the
in mind
result?
that it might be only 35% that outright admits that they
We do not have. Think about what it entails, and he just says nothing about it. You see, the thing is, he seems reasonable. He tells you, think about what it entails. He is an intellectual here. He is establishing a higher ground, an authority. He does not give you any conclusions here, because he does not have conclusions to share. What it entails, what women not supporting capitalism entails, what women not questioning how racist the country is entails. He speaks about it like it's man versus woman. Like, he himself in this case views man as the system, because for him critiques of capitalism involves critiques of man, critiques of racism involves critiques of man. Like, make it make sense.
dislike men, but I bet you anything. If the question was, do you think white men indirectly contribute to the problem, contribute to the patriarchy and racism, the vast majority of women who claim that they feel neutral towards men would say yes. They would.
Again, if we believe in a system, we believe that we all contribute to it whether we want it or not, because it is a system. Everything works in a system. We cannot just escape it. We were raised by the system. We don't know the world without it.
Would say yes, bro, as the majority of British white people.
Like, this is a speculation on his side. I agree with this speculation. But his conclusion to it is different.
Women already think that UK is racist. So in mentality, in idea.
Also, he brings up Germany. You said it's in German, but we are talking about UK. This is apples and oranges.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed neutrals share the same sentiment. Another quote. While much debate about declining birth rates focuses on prohibitive economic conditions alone, there is less focus on how younger generations of women feel towards the idea of motherhood. Young women are twice as likely as young men to say they would not like to have children.
Now, we've already talked about it. How many women and how many men would like to have children? What do you think? Put your guesses in the comments right now. I don't care if they are wrong. Just give us guesses. More than we think is how much you and I think differently. Like majority wants or does not want children. This is how many people, how many women you think want to have children. This is for children, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because, he this is framed as being extreme, negative. Yeah. So we got this. Your guesses based on what was being said and how it was being framed. Now, someone has won. 80% of men and 75% of women want to have children. How do you like this framing? It kind of puts an idea that is simply wrong. Okay? They tricked you.
Well, the paragraph was saying how many don't want children, right? So if you look at the I would not like to,
Yeah,
see that's 8% and then 15%.
the number is correct. It's 8% of men don't want children and 15% of women don't want children. That is true. I am talking about the framing. The framing is alarmist. It made you overestimate the negative view, say, the lack of desire to have children.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty common in statistics, unfortunately. It's like for cancer, you're like, you have twice the risk of getting cancer if you take this, and it's like 0.0001 or something.
Yeah, that's correct. This is alarmist. This is fear-mongering. That's why I am taking it apart sentence by sentence. Because sentences are used to, these kind of sentences are used to manipulate your worldview.
Prohibitive economic conditions is just a cop out. The richer a woman becomes, less likely she will want to have children. As simple as that. Because they see having children as some sort of slavery. Since they
Based on his experience. I guess, okay, this is anecdotal evidence, valid. He can have this impression. 75% want children, though. Do they see it as slavery? Kind of drastic, right? Kind of not correct. He read the source, not the correct source, but from the poll organizer. He does not have the reason to doubt her, right? She conducted the poll. They would also assume that these women are liberal, progressive, leftist, progressive, pro-women. So he does not understand that this is an anti-women framing. This is to alienate women. Okay, this is to make the gap bigger. I mean, again, my conspiracy theory is that they wanted this to go viral to make more men who are in doubt or are voting, were interested in voting for the Green Party to switch, because the Green Party is the party women vote for. They are more interested in environmentalism.
They don't need men financially anymore. They would rather enjoy their lives. Because guys, let's be
Okay? share of women have ever married by age at 25. Is this such a terrible graph? Not being married by 25. I mean, if you're Russian government, of course, Russian government encourages students, including school students, to give births. And I assume we should understand that people who are just presenting themselves to the world, they have not established their place here. They maybe it's worth putting the children aside, because most women in Europe, in Western Europe, have children after 30. Why is this bad? I don't think it is. Like, sure, infertility rates like slightly higher in the sense that it's kind of harder to have a child. It's not impossible, nowhere near impossible. It's just people who are grown up, who have an established place in their life. They know where they live. They have probably a stable work, stable source of income, savings, means to raise children. These are the people having children. Let's hear what Rami is saying. I don't know, but where I come from, people get married in their early 20s and having a child after 35 means you will likely give birth to kids with Downs or autism. That's not true. You have to have the genes for that, right? But also, I'm speaking after 30. Like, I think 31, 32. My mother had me at 35 and my dad was 38%, so of course I ended up as that word you don't like. Age 38. I had in university I had a lecturer who got his last child at 71. He was 71. Okay, health issues. If you're older than 35 and hoping to get pregnant, many families are delaying pregnancy well into their 30s and beyond and delivering healthy babies. It might take longer. Multiple pregnancy is more common. The chance of having twins increases with age. The risk of gestational diabetes. My friend's sister had diabetes during her second pregnancy. This can just go away. The risk of developing high blood pressure. This, so far, the problems are lying on the women who is getting pregnant. Here, the chance of having a C-section goes up. The risk of pregnancy loss, miscarriage, and stillbirth. The risk of those two. There's a greater risk of premature birth and having a baby with a low birth weight. They often have medical problems. And the risk of chromosomal conditions is higher. Let's look at that. Oh, you are right about Down syndrome. We should look at this more then. I mean, they say autism comes from the Y chromosome, so that comes from us, unfortunately. Here we have, so there are clinics. The problem with clinics is that they want you to come to them. Abstract. Not understood by me. Oh no, sorry, I closed. You know, you can tell me like, hey, I actually don't want to look into it. This is boring. That is fine. Oh. So after at 35 we have 0.6. Now these are the ages when they get better. What about now? Great. Please tell me if it's boring. But you know, we again traveled way too far, ventured out in the wild. Giving birth after 25 is not that big of a deal, okay? That's the point.
There,
Where? Here. See it. I always said that people shouldn't have kids after 30. Disagree.
very much, individual upside to having children. A child is gonna mean less individual freedom, whether you are a man or a woman. My own sister is one of them. She has enough money to raise 100 children in her 30s and still career. She told me herself, she told me straight up. I couldn't live the life I live now if I were to have children. Still focused on money. Still about being a strong woman. What do you expect, bro? This is not normal. She has enough money to raise 100 children. Guys, look, the population going down in number is not necessarily a problem itself, as long as it is planned and gradual change. But when you have fertility rates collapse so fast and so hard, but
Let's see what he... Brutal. Time pill.
People get to live longer and longer and longer, increasing.
What does this statistics have to do with our topic?
Medical bills, collecting pensions till age fucking 100. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have plenty of problems. Those state pensions.
I mean, he does understand the problem is not individual people, okay? The problems are in institutions. Like, let's be honest, every country has so many taxpayers' money going to fund a lot of shit. Let's just say that. How much are your politicians making? The rise of the healthcare industry over time points towards an aging population. Or maybe it doesn't. This is a speculation. It could mean that, well, a lot of things. That climate, our congressmen and senators get free healthcare while they vote in favor of the insurance companies. Yeah, this is the problem. You're getting it. The problems are not in the individuals. They are in systems that are not meant to make citizens live better lives. Imagine are you the system? Imagine you want jeans and you have options when having these jeans or with these jeans. You either buy them, oh, we got Jumbo Jack again. You either buy those jeans that don't fit you in our scenario, and you try to get yourself a person to fit these jeans, or you, a person, try to get the jeans to fit you. Choose different jeans, maybe tailor them, maybe you can actually, order tailored jeans just meant for you. What we are doing here, we are trying to fit the person in the jeans that might not fit this person. We are trying to fit people in the system instead of changing the system to make the life of people better. What the government is even here for if not to make our lives better? Like, what's the point of the government if it's not for the citizens? War. Power control. Yeah, this is not the view we, like us, the people, should agree with.
And medical care costs gotta be paid by someone. You can't just print money without bankrupting your currency. This is of course a bigger problem for the social welfare states in the Western Europe. But this is still only the economical aspect. There is also the social side of this. Without young
When talking about not having enough money, enough working class to provide value, to pay taxes for the pension, we are never discussing immigrants. I think if we have a good system to, inject immigrants that are coming anyway into the workforce, then we have people of working age doing the work, paying the taxes. But the countries do not agree with this option. And the people are very against the immigrants because they see it as taking their places, their jobs, their money. But we can resolve this problem by making it possible for them to work. Also, if they are taking the jobs, that means the civil bank account. That means then that there is a limited amount of jobs. So these people, there would not be more pension than if they can't make money. If the same number of people making money, how would we get more taxes except for making the taxes higher or people getting paid more, but they don't want to pay more. Tishan wants to say something. I am waiting for you.
We have like trillionaires almost, like it's just insane.
Okay, I got my hater here again on Twitch.
Yeah, down for that.
Wait a second, I will show you what's going on.
Oh, yeah, for the 4K.
Yeah, this chat right here.
Sorry?
You know, put them in like 4K. You know, share screens of the hater.
Mhm.
And like, as your.
So initially I thought this is like some 60-year-old man. Now I think it's just a teenager. And I would guess from a country that has English as their second language. Fishan, you will like this. I can't understand what other guy is saying even one bit. It's like he's underwater.
Yeah, I'm underwater. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
people, there is no country, there is no future. And I gotta say this too. You can't rely on immigration. Mass immigration comes with other problems. So they think a solution either.
We're talking about gradual change. It does not have to be mass immigration. This thing, and also when talking about declining birth rates, let's look at South Korea. They are not a progressive country, yet their birth rates are below everyone else's in the world. I think they recently had for the first time a raise, a tiny one, but their birth rates are disastrous. It's been disastrous for a very long time. So, what does it tell us? That women earning more, having more freedom, is not the reason they are making less money. So I've already told, I think it's prioritizing individual success. South Korea is an incredibly capitalistic country. Like, it, whether it would beat the USA in capitalism is a question. But we can see where I'm going, right? They have incredible political turmoil. Every president ends up in a jail. No stable policies, right? No stable direction for the policies for the country. Incredible corruption. The country is led by like 10 most wealthy families. Oh, another one. Oh, he decided to fix stuff. Let's see how Fission is going to handle
Test 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can hear it. There's
It could be because of the window capture. Let's check. Say something else, maybe.
Hello, test 1, 2, 3. I'm a fish under the sea. But it's all I can see. Seashells by the seashore.
Okay, is it working? Is it better now?
I'll have to check.
No echo now, but I can barely hear him.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now, tell something else. Say something else. No, wait. It's the wrong one. Desktop audio.
Hello, I'm a fish. Nice to meet you.
Now, could you please say something?
I'm a pufferfish.
You're a pufferfish.
You can see in my profile picture, I am the pufferfish, not just a pufferfish.
The pufferfish. Okay. Do we hear anything? Can hear him really good, but can't hear me.
Everything is mute now. We're into Jumbo Jack.
Okay. Fixing up stuff. Say something.
Sounds fishy, bro. You know, the weather today was going to be good, but instead, it was stormy, and we don't like storms in the ocean. Let me tell you, these whirlpools out here, bro, like, there's not okay. We need to do something.
Got calculated. Okay, what can I say? Okay, I would increase fish. Why do I hear my own voice? I think.
There's more load in fish. You know, that's a good thing, Jumper Jack.
I cannot increase my own voice anymore. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, I hear myself in the vision stream probably. Ah, no, wait.
Sounds fishy.
Wait a second, it was chicken, the voice, it was me.
Remy, whirlpools are nothing, not a laughing matter, bro. Damn, coral reefs are in danger, okay?
Why am I helping? I should be hating. Maybe hating is not in your soul. Maybe you can be better than this. Have you considered it?
Okay, some people think I'm like an endangered species of pufferfish. Did you know
Love
that?
and hate are the same thing. I'm the bad.
I'm not like the other girls. I'm the
It should be better now, right? 2 decibel isn't much. By how much should I increase it? Does anyone here understand this? It's good now. Great. Thank you for your help. It is appreciated. Now, let's continue.
Something within gotta change for our survival. Otherwise, we are gonna be the next, that Irish elk. We are gonna be the next Irish elk.
Here, look, I'm 30 years old. Not one of my friends has children. 0. No one. No one's having kids. Do you know how hard you need?
No one in my friend group has kids, so people are not having kids. No one in my friend group also has kids. I would say it does not mean people are having kids, because my friend group is not representative of population. This is such a stupid argument.
To abuse a mammal to make them not have children?
Do you know how hard you need to abuse a mammal to make them not have children? Yeah, this biologism. So fucking stupid. We are a much more complicated species.
Like, look, GDP goes up. People have have enough food, and whatever. No one's having kids, and this.
No, GDP goes up. People can't have food. We have the rich people. How Money Works had a video on it, talking about how economy looks great because of rich people, but the buying power of low and middle class just keeps dropping. Now people talk about how middle class is basically dying out. Oh, is this your friend?
well, middle class is like, isn't the gap just becoming more and more wide
What?
between classes?
Yes. It's just that it happens because we lose globally. People lose middle class. Middle class becomes lower class, and the gap is widening. Are you saying the children are mostly being had by rich people, while the poor people generally don't have them? Do you hate waffles? People, do I hate waffles? Is this what I'm saying? No. I'm saying that his argument is incorrect.
This is across the world. This is across both the West, the East,
Also, I have heard, we need to check if it's true, that the birth rates were so high due to teenage pregnancies. Your response to the guy, people not having children, was something about money groups. Yeah, it was something about money groups. I now can see that English is not your first language, dude. So, let's check. Teen pregnancies. Here, teenage pregnancy rates have fallen all over the world. Per 1,000 births, we have now less than 10% of teen pregnancies. Is it bad? If, like we had here, 7% of teen pregnancies drop to 4%.
Okay.
Rapid
Is this good or
pregnancy.
bad? Yeah, I mean, like, they're probably not financially well off enough to have kids, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably a good thing if it goes on.
In Russia, so we had politicians of a certain region of Tyumen offer additional payment for schoolgirls who give birth, and also additional exam points. I mean, yeah, kids shouldn't be having kids. A drop by 7%, by 3% is a good drop. I remember girls in my school who were having kids from their much older boyfriends. Yeah. Okay, what were the results of offering extra money for giving birth? It happened recently. I don't think it's relevant to our point. For abortion numbers, I also don't think it's relevant. I'm just saying this as a fun fact. Hi, lonely game, cool. Profile picture. It is relevant. I mean, you think people nowadays have more abortions than in the past? Yeah. So, 30-year-old motherfuckers hanging out in front of our school, yeah, and picking up teen girls because they owned a shitty car from the 80s. When I was 12, I was doing volleyball in school, and we had another girl, also 12, and she had 25 years old boyfriend. Then, like, when we graduated, I usually think, like, these are stupid men who want children. But then, 19-year-old guy who is genuinely a smart guy apparently had a teenage girlfriend. 16, not 12. But this is still not great, in my opinion. Okay, you cannot hear me. You can hear me. It is always portrayed like the end of fun when you start a family. So start the family later in life. Spend your teenage years having fun. Have a lot of sex and abortions. I love having abortions, right? Every weekend, I go and get an abortion just for fun. Amazing procedure, strongly recommended. Did you see the videos when they celebrate they just killed a kid? Okay, it's a teenager, that's enough. Jester is the typical model. Teen Stasia confirmed. Yeah, that's true. I am so socially inclined. Okay.
Everywhere it's happening. So why do I not have kids? And the answer to that is I don't really know.
You don't know much of anything.
Why do I not have kids? I don't know. Why the fuck are you speaking out? Think about it. Why are you being a speaker not knowing what the fuck are you even thinking? This is a weird thing to have said.
For that matter. I mean, you got people sitting around the table, a bunch of so-called academicians, acting all intellectual, trying to break down something that is so simple, so easy, so obvious, so fucking obvious, but of course, never dared to leave the mental cave he was raised in. Because
yeah, I remind you that Earl in my I forgot what it's called, server. The world is complex. It's not just simple. There's never a succinct explanation or answer to everything. Everything is a result of multiple factors. People are also complex and chaotic. Be understanding and accepting towards mistakes. You cannot simplify the world this way. This is stupid.
guys, in his mind, spelling out the real reason would make him misogynistic. He can't ever voice the real reason. I don't really know why.
There's a huge problem where they don't
Yeah, what's the reason? Say it, spell it out.
dance. No one dances. They go to clubs and they don't dance. Yeah. Why is this? Because you get recorded.
Yeah.
If you're an 18-year-old kid, you go to a club, you get recorded. If you approach a girl and you mess it up, you get recorded. Everything is panopticon now. Yeah. So if you had to ask me why, my answer is technology. My answer is social media. My answer is AI. My answer is algorithm.
No, that is not why. Ain't because
the people at this table probably have 10 plus degrees between them, yet still they can't say the real reason women go their own way. I love the audacity while I don't agree with this guy, then thank you, sir, you get recorded. You do not get recorded like for social media at the rate you seem to think. We can talk about surveillance, and it depends. The quality of the video makes me think that it's like 2007. Anyway, if we name the problem as women go their own way, women deciding not to have family and children, which, as we've seen, is not the case. But let's pretend it is. What is the next step? It is a creative exercise. I want to hear what you guys think. What is the next step?
I'm gonna be debating Jumbo Jack for a little.
What, Jumbo Jack?
I'm gonna be debating him in the.
But you can put him aside. I'm more important than Jumbo Jack, right? Plus, I will be sending you personally to sleep soon. So, again, let's imagine we point out the problem that it is women choosing not to have families and children. What is our next step? Societal collapse? We choose, how we choose to act about it. Do we decide, yeah, let's collapse? Well, we can't force people to have kids, correct? You know what the next step is? To ask why women choose not to have kids. And I know people like this are gonna say feminism is bad. Turn the feminism down. The feminism is addressing issues, existing issues. If you think it addresses issues incorrectly, then let's find a different way to address these issues. We should look at the source of the problem. Even in Korea, it's because of rising costs, yeah. That's right. Again, anecdote from Russia. One of our politicians straight up said that the problem is that people have too much money. People need to be poorer, terrible word. People need to be poorer so they will have children. Great, right? Great next step. Yeah, that's our politicians for you. I remember back in 2012, I think, Medvedev, our prime minister, said, if teachers don't get enough money, they should just become businessmen. business people, and then they will have enough money. Bitch, who's going to be children? Who's going to teach children if everyone becomes a business owner? I decided not to go to speed dating because I think I'm too poor for those women. Yeah, I actually stopped dating partially because I do not have money, and I think I should resolve my own problems first. I want to know what Lonely Game will say, and then we will proceed. Tell me if you think we should finish the video and not make it a 3-part series. And to think that Medvedev was the moderate and pro-Western fake president. Well, in some sense, it's true. If people are poor children can give you money. It's like a pension, but if you are rich, they cost you money. But I guess it depends on the society exactly. The money that people get for having children is nothing. No, well, it is money. It's not enough to raise children. Children are much more costly than the payouts people get for getting children. These payouts do not support people. They can give a fake sense of being supported. That's not the case.
They are
right. Should we finish the video and then continue talking? Or do you want me to keep going it with stopping and after every fucking sentence? Yes. Yeah, let's finish the video. I will.
Scared of getting recorded. It is because
too.
dating world is different now. Social media getting blamed for this is laughable. Bro, men still want to start families. They still want to have children. It is women who do that. Women don't. And that is because they are working now. They make more than men now. They don't need men anymore. That is the reason, bro. Why can't you just say the reality? Everybody talks like this is such a complex, complicated issue. That dude who has dog shit SMV, member of the 63% army, not only hears women who life mock him in every metric say he is the root of the problems, the root of evil patriarchy and what is wrong with the world, but the media also blames him. Oh, why are you watching porn? Why are you playing video games? They not only reject you, but they don't even want you to cope in peace away from them. No, you gotta contribute to the hypergamy. No, you gotta work their shit jobs. No, you gotta live your life the way they want you to.
I think porn is a big part of this issue in terms of why people are turning away from actual sexual activity. They're getting their needs met through this proxy that simulates real sexual activity, because when you're watching porn, the same network of brain regions is activated as when you're actually having sex. So you're having the resulting orgasm and you are, getting these feel-good chemicals. It helps to self-soothe and regulate your emotions, help calm down if you're stressed out. And so it makes men, I think in particular, less likely to want to go out and go through the hassle of having to talk to a woman.
This woman is an academician and wrote a book called Sextinction. And guys, hear this. Her solution for Sandman is for them to be Sandman with blue balls instead.
Sorry, nearly 4 in 10 young liberal women identify as LGBT. Percent of liberals who identify as LGBT. Yeah, again, not the whole population. I'm gonna tell you this thing. Liberals are, LGBT people are more likely to be liberals. Surprise!
That is how disconnected from reality she is. I mean, there's an idea people don't want to admit. Either don't want to admit or can't comprehend. Most young women today want nothing to do with their looks match. Hate the idea of starting a family, having children with their looks match. That is the simple truth. Simple truth that the average people can't wrap their heads around. A very significant section of young women straight up say this. straight up say they don't like men. And what they blame in their heads, they take it out on powerless dudes.
I'm sorry, his whole shtick in saying I don't like women.
Powerless dudes who are rotting in their rooms alone playing video games. Because the actual powerful men they compare themselves to, the top tier men who run the world, women can't bring themselves to hate on. In fact,
not having a discussion, just stopping, but that's not true. First of all. Second of all, he is hating on women. Why he isn't hating on powerful top percent men?
they want to date those top tier men running the world. So instead, they take it out on the 63% army.
Because it's so much easier to get that gratification from the screen than to work up the courage to, get dressed, work on your social skills, talk to strangers, go outside even. Where is that interest going? Are people just as interested, but they have other sexual outlets nowadays, such as, say, pornography, or I know you've talked about AI companions in the past, or sex dolls, sex robots. Those are all subjects I go into in greater detail in the book. But I also think there are factors like endocrine disruptors and environmental toxins that are affecting us.
Bro, imagine this woman didn't bother to write a fucking book. So-called academician. All that years of education, right? Acting smart. And still lists a bunch of fucking nothing burger.
The audacity, the arrogance is unmatched.
Bro, the 95% of the entire reason is hypergamy and women's financial freedom. 95%
anti-scientific
of the reason. The rest is just mumbo jumbo. It is insane to me that you got literal academicians writing books, acting so sophisticated, coming up with all these bullshit theories. Oh, it is because they are scared of getting recorded. No, we are fucking not. That is not why there are so many sandmen rotting alone playing video games. Bro, porn is just the result of hypergamy. The result.
No. Porn was there in the 60s too. Weird. Unreasonable.
Not the cause of it. The vast majority of addicts are sandmen. Oh, it is the manosphere. Manosphere poisoning the young man. People really act like young men would rather rot max watching Andrew Tate than have a girlfriend and enjoy life. Bro, reason is unchecked hypergamy with no rail guards. That and women not needing men financially anymore. Only these two. Even if you completely banned every single manosphere figure off the internet, even if you banned video games and porn and everything, leaving the 63% army no cope, giving them no respite, nothing would change simply because of these two reasons. They don't want anything that gives men solitary pleasure. Anything that men can enjoy on their own, they are gonna attack it. That is why they hate on video games so much. That is why they target porn so much. Just understand that. Don't be a free agent in life.
Finally finished with this shit. I go not because I don't want a girlfriend. I go because no woman wants me. Wrong. You go because it's normal for a human being to do. And then, additional to that, you have... with you, there is an easy dunk regarding your social life. You know very well it is not limited to talking to women for you. Like, how... Honestly, this more so adds to the point of a woman this guy tried to put through George, that it is a lack of social life. I don't think it is just a lack of social life. Again, many difficult things at play. But let's talk about unchecked hypergamy. What the fuck does it mean? And how is it supposed to be checked? Because he does not spell it out, but you know what he thinks. You know where this thought leads to if we finish it, if we go all the way. He wants to force women to mate with their quote-unquote look smudges. Is it not true? What else do you think he suggests? Just accepting it? I feel like he's spoken against that, but I don't know, I haven't watched bro's content in years. A more charitable interpretation, yeah, I would appreciate it, would be that he thinks women have standards that the average man will never meet. And what's next? What is the solution? Like, I'm being too strict in the sense that I don't think a person identifying a problem means they must provide a solution. I'm sorry, hypergamy is such a bag of bullshit. So his solution is complaining on the internet. I'm being caricaturish right now, yeah. Somehow become taller, become more attractive physically, grow bigger dicks. See, the problem with this, and this is what I wanted to talk about regarding red pill, is that these are individual decisions. If the problem is systematic, we should address the system, and that the standard rise as they don't need men's resources anymore. So I guess the solution which follows is to reduce women's income. Essentially, it's just too highlighted. I think Manishan probably responded to something I said, but as thoughts leave my mouth, they also leave my head, and I don't remember what I said. Anyway, the thing here is what? Hypergamy is bullshit. Elon is not the most wanted man in the world, right? Hypergamy suggests that women are always in search of a better partner, and there should probably be some ultimate best partner that all women, even like a model of a partner, a fiction, an ideal that all women want. That would mean that there are some features that this ideal has in the head of all women. But this is not the case. Women all women won't agree on a single feature that I am monitor boyfriends. All women won't agree on a single feature that they want all partners to share. Like, even if we talk about money is resources, incredibly important. There are women who would enjoy being sugar mummies. Tallness, a lot of people talk about tallness. I personally do not like tall people. They make me uncomfortable and anxious. They are too big for me. Like, above, what's the American units? 180 centimeters. In feet, it would be 5.9. 5 feet 11 inches. Higher than that, I'm uncomfortable. So we do not share here. What else? Big dick. Some people like small dicks. There is even a fetish for that. There is humiliation, but there's also worship. What else? Square jaw. Look at Asian beauty standards. It's a V-shaped jaw, so it's not obviously some biological, multicultural things. Yeah, mostly humiliation. We cannot take away the culture out of it. You know, there's there are femboys. Sorry for diving into kinks. There are femboys and there is feminization. Femboys are just men kind of wanting to look pretty, right? Feminization is based on humiliation, because for a man it's humiliating to be like a woman. Lack of manliness is humiliation. And this is why I hate feminization. I'm fine with femboys. This is why we cannot take away the cultural aspect of a fetish, small penis humiliation, because the size of the genitalia culturally is connected to masculinity. Okay, we had like 2015, 2018 with the phrase big dick energy, small dick energy. Women were complimented with the phrase using big dick energy, which is associated with masculinity. So yeah, it's a lot of it is cultural. Not everyone will be happy with a big dick. Sorry to say that. There is nothing that everyone shares. It is not biological. I mean, there are some things that are biological, right? But the thing about people is that our nervous system is way too complicated, way too complex for us to view human behaviors as biological, unless you are like Mr. Rehab Room. View women as much less sophisticated creatures than men. Then tell me this in my face. Oh, what a fucking idiot. Like, he is intelligent, but he is also such a fucking idiot. He could be better if he recognized the classism, the harm that capitalism brings. He talks about like top 20% men, rich men that have the power. Why does he never speak on them? Why is he not critical of them? Why is he not critical of the system which leaves people without money, which leaves people without jobs, without a stable source of income? Let's look at the comments. Discord and exclusive videos. What if I join his Discord? If guys are rejected because they watch porn. Suicide are majority male, women most affected. Okay, so suicides, right? We talked about this. Men's mental health, men's emotional support. Hi, we have done talking about this stuff. Morning. So, men emotionally do not rely on each other. Men's mental health is only strictly talked about to try to counteract against issues women have. When we talk about, say, military service, mandatory military service, I've brought it up before recently in a conversation. I can tell you that we have 3 Russian organizations that are anti-mandatory military service. One of them, and draft included by the way, one of them has spun out from media. The other 2, so it has spun out from a media in 2020, I think. The other 2 that started back in like 2007, 2009, who do you think it was started by? Make your guesses. Putin, yeah. He's well known for caring about Russian citizens. Feminists, well, not feminists, but it is women. It's combat mothers, soldier mothers is one of them, and the other is like conscious refusal of military service. They are not started by men, they are not supported by men. When men are faced, I can see it all the time, right? I've seen it so much. That's why I can speak about it. You probably don't have similar experience. Maybe Ayuna does have similar experience. Well, at least some knowledge about it in his country. But when men are met with it, the only options they look at is going through it or trying to ditch it. Like, my ex was trying to ditch it during our time together, and I was so fucking confused on why is there no movement to ditch it? Yeah, that, and also in 2022 September, when there was the first draft, there were protests. Can you guess who started it? Everyone was just trying to leave the country. I'm talking about prior to the war. not Pussy Riot. It was, so the protest was called Wives of Soldiers, Soldier Wives. Issues, systematical issues that men face. As systematical, they are mostly dealt with, cared for by women. This is what we see. When men talk about mental health, it is to counter women's issues. When men talk about army, military, it is to counter issues. There is no, group consciousness to say, hey, our rights are under attack and we should do something about it. Our well-being is under attack and we should do something about it. Is there male positivity, male body positivity? There is when women talk about it. I've seen like 1 or 2 male figures talking about it. Back in psych, I said like, you actually can start male body positivity for height. This is reasonable. They are not interested in it. How are you going to solve an issue if you don't try to solve it, if you don't try to do anything about it? Yeah, and I think there is no group consciousness unless it is talked about in cases of oppression of other groups, because there is no attack on these groups, on this group without it, because a group being attacked always creates this group consciousness. Fission is hard at work fighting an idiot. You do know he is below you in intelligence. You don't need to bother. And also, this is probably a teenager.
Yeah, it's not really about intelligence. It's just about logic. Anyways.
Yeah, and logic is connected to positive. Men would just clown on a male body positivity movement. Yes! Do you see where the harm is coming from? Who attacks this movement? Men will clown and dismiss experience of male sexual abuse victims, especially if they suffered from female perpetrators. Male men will dismiss men's mental issues. Like, Body dysmorphia. Gym bros have body dysmorphia, most of them. Looks maxing community, they have body dysmorphia. Do they talk about it? No. But when they need to say women have it either, they will talk about it. And they will say, women attack men for it. That's not women attacking you. This is friendly fire. Virginity for men. It is a subject to mockery for women, but it is also a subject of mockery for men too. There is no brotherhood when it is about the well-being of men as a group. I mean, you can disagree with me. I see Rami is typing something, but he did agree with me. I think it's because in looks maxing community and black pill, it is said that women can only feel lust for a very tiny fraction of men. It is a problem, yes, but what about mental health? Like, you could, I believe this is an inherently misogynistic belief, yes, but you still could combine it with caring about mental health, with addressing depression, anxiety, and body dysmorphia, and eating disorders, which again, gym bros also have. I remember, so if you go under any videos of gym bros on Instagram, say, and you tell them, and there's someone like ripped, very, what's it called? The opposite of bulk. Like very skinny, very low fat percentage man. 6 abs are all visible, lean, that's right, very extremely lean. And you tell them, just try to tell them, hey, this is not a healthy body, this is not a natural body. You're going to get so much crap. And I'm telling you this because this has happened to me. Except for few accounts with men talking about body positivity. They will be against recognizing that there are so many unhealthy practices. Fishon, you have a task to go to sleep.
I must destroy this dude.
No.
If you want me.
No, go to sleep. You are being banned. I will ban you from Twitch. I kick you out of here.
Yeah,
go to sleep.
I'm being banned as a fish. Okay. Alright. Night.
Good night. All I know is that even though I will remain an ugly sub 4 when I get insurance, I'm gonna go on GLP. What's that? Oh, right, basically a Ozempic. Yeah, that's good. If you can get it, that's good. Yeah. So, what did we learn today? from women hating men. Did I learn anything today? Really? You are scarring my heart. You are being mean to me. I learned that gesture is tall. I feel like the dude who showed up for the last 1 minute of the class. Don't you think the last point is one of the most important? The bot is lagging again. Okay, great. I learned that the paw still bothers you. This is not new information. We've been here for 3 hours. Did you really learn nothing else? On 2 separate occasions, and that. Yeah. That's why when I'm asking you questions, you need to answer to remember what is being said. You need to engage with the information you are being provided. That it mostly boils down to mental health issues. So this is your guess based on the ending of the video, not what it mostly boils down to, but men having it basically tougher when being single is important, yeah. They have it tougher because they have no support system, no emotional connections with their friends. Lack of camaraderie, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Wait. Time for violence. Okay, I will do it myself. Besides lack of camaraderie, we learned to ask questions about statistics. Shall I remind you that in the beginning
to get into white collar.
These statistics that are basically fucking fraudulent. They are not representative of anything. Here, worryingly, almost 60% of male needs were inactive, meaning they were not looking for work. The number has risen around 65 since 2019. By contrast, the figure for women has barely changed. Why is this not representative of the wider scope of the population. Quick, we talked about it, guys. Why does this sentence not represent the population? You don't need to remember, it's in the text. You need to question the words that are in front of you. Need, okay, good. Keep going. Needs aren't looking for work, okay? Why answer the question in a full sentence. Back in school. Here is a question. Why does this sentence, why do these three sentences not represent the general population? These statistics and general population, why are they not representative? Does it only talk about the male number? I mean, in some cases, this is the answer, not in this one. What is the percentage of needs in the general population? Yeah, this is talking about needs. This is not the general population. It does not represent anything except needs who are looking or not looking for work. It doesn't even talk about whether they are looking or not looking for education. Okay, another one that we also discussed here. Among 16 to 24-year-olds, there are more women in full-time work than their male counterparts, with the average woman in that age group earning 9% more than the average man. We cannot use this to represent the general population. Why? Again, the same question. I think there might be a lot of students close, because how many 16-year-olds are working full-time? Well, close and not quite the response. The age bracket. Yes. This is 16 to 24. As we talked about it, what is after 24? What is 24 to 60? The trend doesn't continue after 24, or they would mention it. In this article, this is not about numbers, except that there's 16 and 24 mentioned. This is about how the sentence is built and what is this used to prove. The point of the sentence is not related to what it is used to prove. The population from 16 to 24 does not represent the the whole population. The population is cut at 24 because starting from them, it isn't accurate anymore. Why do I say it isn't accurate? Because in the same article, Scarlet mostly refers to the group 18 to 25. If it would be way more useful to refer to women to 25 or also to 30. This is also a group she speaks about, but considering that now we got a different age number, that means starting from 25, it's not the same, even just that. Adding 25 years old bracket changes the number. So that means what? Let's just make it this way. Make the number of people in all age groups stop at 100%. Right? So let's say 75% of women are working, or rather the number of working women out of all working teenagers, youngsters is 75. How do I put it, right? Let's say this is up until 20, so 16, 16, 17, 19, 24, right? And let's say in the rest, so for men it's 25 by 4. How much do we need to add in the next 4 years for the men to outweigh women? Because if we add, let's say, 75 in the next 4 years, we will get 50. So it is equal. I know it's hard. When I do it this way, I'll show you what's happening. This is a tough time. You see what I'm talking about? So that means in the last years, men needed to take a bigger percentage just to reach the border of 50 to 50 for this number to be over. That means if we take year by year, within this age bracket, 16 to 24, at some point, like for every year, men started out working and probably out earning women. Because if at some point women were out working, out earning men, well, girls at that age, then for it to reach even the point of balance, we need to include years when men are out working. Do you get what I'm talking about? If you don't, just it's basic. Just agree with me. That's okay. You lost me at math. Sorry. I see numbers. Anyway, men started out working women within this age bracket. That's the point. Just remember that. Yeah. So, yeah, another point I wanted to make back at, where is it? This one. Men under 30, 72%. Fish, go to sleep. What the fuck? Stop arguing with teenagers. What does the positive view of women mean? Let's look. Thinking about the opposite gender, what's your overall attitude? Overall view? Conservative. Have the most positive view of the opposite gender. %. Do you think conservative men, and Conservative Party is more male than female, right? Do you think conservative men what would you say? What does liking women from men here means? As we can see, the most of preference towards the opposite gender comes from conservative people. So from men, a lot of this liking the opposite gender comes from conservative men, right? What do conservative men think about women? Yes, for men, liking women is attraction. kick fish out. A person can think that they have a positive view of men, of women, and they can think at the same time that women are stupid and they don't have the right to vote. Like Myers-Gaines, who think women are stupid, much less complex than men, they deserve less rights, they deserve less. And this is still loving women in their case. The most normal view of people, based on of people of a wide group, is neutral. Paternalism, basically. Yeah. Do you hear me now? Yeah, I was silent. I was kicking fish out of the chat on Twitch. For 10 minutes. So, do we now have some new information in our big brains? Did we learn something now? I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired and I don't understand numbers with 7 words than when I'm tired. Understandable. But I don't need you to understand numbers. I need you to understand the overarching themes here. In his video, it's using unrelated statistics to support his point. The video was about women hating men, young women supposedly hating men. When you have statistics presented as an argument, you need to consider, indifference is the correct option, I believe. When you are presented with the statistics, you need to consider if these statistics actually represent the argument that is being made, or if you just believe it because it has numbers and it seems like the person understands what they're doing. Question more questions whenever you receive information. That way it will be harder to become a victim of propaganda. And when you are told that the person speaks the truth, then you have to question them much more, much harder, much more strictly. Too late for that, says Munition. No, you are a smart, reasonable guy. All you have is mental struggles. You are so young still. There is a fundamental mismatch to what different people mean by like, if you can't account for things like that data is garbage. Yeah, that's why, in the study that was talking about incel politics, there is a point, like, they do offer to choose whether they are on the right or on the left, but then they also go an issue by issue, like support of lower classes, and wokeness, so to say. If you look at the wokeness, that is where this right-wing agenda shows itself. Yeah, and by the way, if we're talking about this data, there is some idea on why women would feel more negative towards men. I feel safe when around members of the opposite gender. Do men agree? %71% of men agrees that they can feel safe with members of the opposite gender. And surprisingly, 51% of women. Again, very pretty numbers, huh? 7% of men disagree. 24% of women disagree that they can feel safe around men. Are they wrong to feel that way? You know what, Americans? This is very late for you. I think for Rami it's about 4 a.m. You should go to sleep. Time for sleep. Okay. This is a great time to go to sleep. I just woke up. Don't worry, we'll talk to you. Alright, good night and sorry for not understanding math. But not on top of ugly, low IQ. No, you are okay. I'd say probably, maybe, higher than average. Not sure. Okay, guys, except Ayuna, and I'm not sure about Lonely Game. I feel like you might be American too. Time to go to sleep. We had fun. He's in Europe. Okay, not good night. No night for you. I had fun. What do you mean watching a movie? Go to sleep too. I appreciate you spending so much time with me.